Yes, sir. You just found it. Intercourse with you. Let's chat.
Welcome to the Intercourse Show. I am your host, Mr. B. You have joined us for another reaction video. And today we are going to discuss Corey Holcomb's video on Remy Ma and Papoose' relationship. Now, there are two factors in this video that come up in discussion. One is how Remy Ma carried herself in a photo with her and Papoose. She was wearing kind of a skimpy outfit, and it was very revealing. Similar to the outfit that Ciara wore when she was with, Russell Wilson. And, that outfit was essentially kind of telling as to, the dynamic in her relationship with Papoose, because he looked bothered by it. And Corey responded to her wearing that outfit. And secondly, the issue at hand is, the condition of her and Papoose' relationship. There are some rumors that Remy Ma, which is a rapper that Papoose is married to, a female rapper, that she is currently sleeping with a person who works for them. So those two topics will be discussed, and we'll see if the two are interconnected. Well, join us for the show.
How can I start the show out without dissing my brother, but still talk to him like the OG supposed to talk to him? What's my man name who was holding Remy Ma all up in the air?
Papoose.
Papoose.
Oh, no.
I don't want to say it wrong. Papoose.
Papoose.
What's Papoose?
Papoose.
But you saying it. You're saying it kind of like
Smart
flat.
brother.
Good dude.
Held it
Good
down. Yeah, she held him down too.
Somebody else's puss.
Oh, I cannot. How do we know for a fact?
Is it a way I can just show this picture? Hey,
Thank you, Orion. Stop.
what's my man name?
That's so sweet.
Listen, I need some help, man. I got this late.
Hey, Tom.
Can you show this picture? I think everybody needs to see this picture because my brother is highly intelligent. I've heard him rap. That what he does ain't easy.
Yeah.
I mean, Papoose is like he's a standout rapper, not just another guy out there, in my opinion.
Yeah, dope.
But the lessons we are taught in America that are not taught in school is how to deal with the ladies. I think they do it on purpose, not to help us with the guidance needed in school about dealing with the ladies. I mean, like, why ain't no classes about the ladies, Darlene?
Why isn't there any class about the ladies?
Yeah, there's plenty of counseling on bad men.
I can't. I don't know what to say about that. But I hear you. I wish it would. I wish there were classes. But that's why you have, people that you admire and you look up to.
What you say, Sam? Quit getting your feelings hurt by the chat room goons. They
Is
gonna
he
go
looking?
in.
Don't look. Don't read
I
it.
said, what's up, Gooch?
Oh.
Gooch said, what up, Sam?
Oh yeah,
okay,
Gooch, what up?
okay,
Hold
don't
it down,
read it,
Gooch.
Sam.
Hold it down.
Oh, I ain't paying attention to
What
that.
you think about that, Craig?
Man, if they rap, you really can't trust them. They be around too many niggas on a consistent
talking about
basis.
the
We be cracking jokes on this show, but actually we be dropping bombs. Can you please say that once again?
Yeah, man, females you can't trust them, but specifically female rappers, because they be around a lot of niggas all the time, like a lot of niggas. And if they ain't fucking the niggas is fucking their mind. Just
Did you say they fucking their mind?
straight up?
Oh,
a woman
Lord.
being a rapper is an identity crisis. That's like a woman being a stud. You basically a soft stud.
That's like
if
a
you're
bitch
female rapper.
refereeing a basketball
Yeah.
game. I be just looking at this
Oh,
shit
Lord.
like, how far are they gonna let the shit go? Foul. Bitch, shut up and show your monkey.
Oh,
Fuck you doing out here running around with ass and titties jiggling around men. I brought this picture up for a reason. If your woman is out in public with you like this,
oh, look at
that's
his
not
face.
your woman. That's our woman.
Look at his face.
I hope my brother don't think I'm dissing him.
No.
If your woman is in public with you like this, I don't care if you agreed or disagreed. If she out in public with you like that, that's our woman. I saw a meme, and they had him, they had somebody else, and then they had Russell Wilson and his girl. Like, he next.
Oh no! Oh,
Yeah,
no.
it's on the way.
Also like this. Oh, that's terrible.
If your girl walk with you in public like this, you can't protect her. If your girl is out in public with you like this, she is not prioritizing you. She putting you in a room full of gangbangers with an opposite set outfit on. If your woman is in public like this, you are in danger.
You got to be selective as to what kind of women you select, brothers. You can't just choose any woman who's willing to give you the time of day. You know what I mean? And you have to look at, how does she make decisions? How does she regard you, your image, your family's image, right? Does she move in a way that honors you, or does she move in a way that dishonors you? So it's not just on the woman, right? There are certain types of women. There are women who are wives. There are women who are acquaintances, and there are women who are for play, right? If you're selecting that type of woman who essentially presents herself in a way that, you know, shows that she doesn't have the discernment to know what's appropriate and what's not appropriate, then that's not on her. It's not all on her. Yes, it may be a poor choice on her part, but that's mainly on you. You selected that. You selected a woman like that. You selected a woman who would, you know, be in a relationship with you and still go out with you with all her goods hanging out. So you have to, in a way, look yourself in the mirror and say, why was that the type of woman that I chose to, you know, put myself in relations with, right? You can't just all point the finger at her and say, well, Bob, she's a woman who may be like that, but you need to be assessing that fruit before you give a title. And that's another thing we need to talk about. Too often, fellas, we jump into relationships and we give women titles to us, claiming that they're our girl, or claiming that they're our wives. And in actuality, you didn't take enough time to assess whether or not she was qualified to be that type of person for you. That applies to the ladies as well. You know what I mean? Is a man worthy to be your man? Just because maybe you guys have some good sexual chemistry or you got some things in common doesn't mean that y'all can handle life together and make decisions and be on the same page and cooperate and agree on critical issues that will come up as you guys do life, right? So now if you're in a situation with somebody that is not demonstrating to you that they have the capacity to do that, then maybe you prematurely assigned a title to someone that didn't deserve that. And that's what Corey's trying to say. Again, he's a comedian, right? So he's going to say it in a different way and in a different light. And I just try to translate in a way that is malleable for people to just kind of consume the information, right? I'm essentially saying, men, be selective with who you call your woman. If you can't tell a woman that's not appropriate, you got to go back in the house and change that. And she takes offense or she feels like you're trying to stifle her because you just gave her the advice that you don't think it's safe or appropriate for her to dress like she's in a nightie or, like outside where all her stuff is out. That shouldn't be your woman, bruh. You shouldn't call that your girlfriend. You shouldn't call that your wife. If you can't say, nah, I'm not comfortable with you stepping out the house like that, right? You shouldn't call her your wife. So you can't just put the blame on her. You know what I'm saying? You do have to take some responsibility that you chose that.
If your woman is out like that, she ain't your woman first. Let's get that straight.
Didn't I say it? Yeah.
She ain't yours, homie.
He looked
But I'm
belongs
saying
to
an
her.
intelligent man, like the rapper brother, we heard him talk, we didn't hear him speak. I hear him hold her up in the air like she is all the sunshine in the world.
Well, they do
Why
have
are
kids
we
together.
not smart enough to know we are out with a woman who's reckless?
Yeah, that's wild. When women dress like that, they're trying to attract somebody that'll make them respect themselves. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Street yeast.
yeah.
I think this is a good point for us to stop so I can add a few comments to what's being said here. Corey raises a very good point. He raises a very good point, right? Why are we choosing women who would choose to present themselves in that fashion? I think as a man, you do have to be selective in the type of woman that you select. You cannot essentially choose any type of woman who doesn't necessarily value your input when it comes to how she presents herself to the public, right? That is a self accountability thing that we have to take as men. Are we choosing women that A, doesn't respect us, B, doesn't care how she responds or how she represents us in the public eye, and C, are we choosing women that doesn't honor our feedback when we tell them we're not comfortable with certain things that they're doing? If your woman is deliberately doing something like wearing a skimpy outfit that pretty much reveals all her assets, pretty much puts her all the way out there, leaves nothing to the imagination, and it's very noticeable that that outfit does not, um, you know, serve her or your family well, in that she looks good in it. That's one thing, but it still looks as if she's putting it all out there, like she's available, she's open for business, like anybody can come talk to her, like she wants to be validated and she wants the attention of other men. It just leads the wrong impression with other men. It leaves the wrong impression that other people may have about what's going on in your household and whether or not you're okay or you condone that type of behavior. And I don't think it's something that is it should be taken lightly. I think we do need to be mindful of how we carry ourselves. The next question that I believe we need to factor in is, are we choosing the right partners? Right? Are you choosing a partner that honors your choices, that honors you as a man? Are you choosing a partner that values your input? Or are you choosing a partner that doesn't care what you have to say? Are you choosing a partner that says, you know what? This is what makes me feel comfortable. And as long as I'm comfortable, as long as I'm happy, I'm going to do what I want to do, even if it is disrespectful to you, even if it dishonors you, even if it means that you may not be viewed in the right light by your peers. I'm going to do it anyway. And in a way, she's not fully to blame for that type of thing. You hold some responsibility too, fellas, because you chose this type of woman to be your person. We don't hand out titles if someone doesn't earn it. Like in the army, when you go and you are a cadet and you're working up the ranks, you have to earn every badge you get, right? They don't just make you general after your third or fourth day of being a cadet. You have to prove that you're worthy of that title. And sometimes we go into relationships with people of the opposite sex, or we go into relationships with people in general, and we don't vet them to see if they are able to do life with us. Are you choosing someone that shares your values, that is honorable, that respects you, that loves you, that adds to you and not takes from you? Are you benefiting the relationship, right? So if those things are not in place, then naturally you're going to run into some issues, right? And so this is one of the things that I think Corey is harking on right now is, are we choosing the right partners?
I can't go out there and look at the girls who I work with almost naked. I won't even be able to sleep for days.
So then how do you act at a beach? So you
I
just
don't go to beaches like
Yes, you
that.
do. Yeah, you go-
Especially
yeah,
with
you do.
people I know.
Once my
Oh,
dick get
you
hard
must look
around
really
you, I'm gonna try to
crazy at a
fuck you.
beach.
If you
Say it again, Craig.
So once my dick get hard around a female, I'm gonna try to fuck her. I'm gonna start trying to pull it for sure.
Oh my
That's
God.
a no-brainer. You
Yeah,
try to
yeah.
shove
Everybody can have
This
them
is God
thoughts in their
talking.
head, but to react on
Say
it.
it. Is that who talking?
This is God talking. If my dick get hard around a female, this is God saying you supposed to be with her.
Don't
Darlene.
And some niggas can't
bring
fight
God
that
into
off.
this. Don't bring God in.
That's what I'm
Some
saying.
niggas don't
Craig,
have the ability to fight that off.
One day back before women start shaving, like in the
We're going to pause right here so I can come and make a little comment. Does how women dress trigger a man's thinking? There is a school of thought that says yes, it does. It does trigger a man's thinking. A man oftentimes, have these primal thought patterns, that makes them want to envision what it would be like to be with a woman. Craig raised a good point. Sometimes it's the amount of exposure that a young lady who's in a relationship, especially if she's married, there's the amount of exposure that she have around other men affect her ability to remain faithful in that relationship. Or is that exposure a way of her essentially getting exposed? Is it a way of her, essentially playing with fire, right? Some other man who finds that person attractive may at some point, start to flirt, start to sort of trying to, insert himself into her life, into her affairs. And does that ultimately lead to something catastrophic in the future? I think there is some merit to that statement. I think, if you are in a relationship and you put yourself in environments where, things could be detrimental to that relationship, or you're essentially tempting yourself with the fire of, being exposed to a lot of men, I think there is, a higher probability that you will ultimately succumb to that temptation, right? I mean, it's the same thing with men, not just females, right? If I'm a man and I have a relationship at home with a young lady that I'm calling my wife or my girl, and I'm constantly exposing myself to attractive women, outside with my friends or outside, just kind of being exposed, and those women are flirting with me, it's kind of an ego boost, and eventually, I might succumb to that temptation. So sometimes it's better for you to put sort of boundaries around yourself to not even allow yourself to be tempted in that capacity. And I think there's something to be said about that particular point that he raised, is that it is important for us to set the time aside, or to set boundaries around how we move when we're in relationship, when we're not in relationship, right? And that's no different for a young lady. A young lady can be tempted as well, right? She can have a good relationship, but if a man is, an attractive man, appeals to her, can connect with her emotionally, ultimately that's putting pressure on her to remain faithful to her original relationship. So I think that was a fair point that he made. Let's continue the video.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Like throwing bait out there and trying to catch something big enough to drag it back to the cave and eat it. You know what I'm saying?
If she with you, that's letting you know that you're not her last stop.
No, you just a nigga. Yeah, that's
Somebody
real
said
shit.
one of my old outfits.
That's,
No.
that's like
She ain't, darling, you ain't with that dude you used to be with when you used to dress like that.
No, but he don't mind any of his bras dressing like that. If they
That's
wanted
what
to.
he say.
You know what that
He
looked like
still
to
dress
me?
like that.
Darlene,
What that
you
look
was
like?
a teenager.
That looked like a
No, it was
like
not.
looked like a
I
great.
mean, 30s,
They look like a what?
40s.
It looked like a
Well,
Great
I was
Dane,
young, yeah.
a Great Dane,
No, but I'm saying
and a
I did dress
Chihuahua.
like that. I'm not gonna lie, but not like all.
You know what I'm
like that.
saying?
That's a lot.
Right.
I've done it though. I've done some sort of revealing outfits back in the day.
Darlene, quit explaining yourself. This is how you used to
I'm not
bust down in
explaining, I'm
public.
just
You
saying.
The
older,
chat went on.
I did not have an out like that in public like that.
you ain't have all that meat out
No,
like
no. I've done some like no, but not that's that's a bit
that. What
much.
about the album cover?
That's the album cover. Okay, that was a bathing suit. You can go to the beach right now and see that same. It's a bathing suit.
My girl can't wear no motherfucking bathing suit.
Oh wow! Oh, I was gonna say.
I'll let him wear a bathing suit.
Oh, that's
Just
it.
because we in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
If my girl ain't at motherfucking the beach in the States in no bathing suit.
Wait, what? So
My
there's stipulations
girl
for a bathing suit.
Is in Indonesia at the beach with me.
Oh, I knew there was gonna.
2 in the
something.
morning.
I knew something was gonna
hilarious.
come. I was like, oh, he's a little. He's a little.
We
more
ain't
in.
finna be out in the States and you dressed like that now. Not while you with me.
At a pool. Like, what if they were at a beach wearing the bathing suit I had on?
You can't be in no beach with me in no bathing suit in the States.
Really? Are you serious? You're dead serious.
What?
So what do they wear when they're at the beach?
A jogging suit.
Oh shit!
You're supposed to wear a whole
You gonna get the farmer tan, huh? Okay.
hooper outfit. Look, we out here. We can't be out here setting ourselves up to take L's. This ain't back when your mama and them was growing up. They got social media where everything you do reveal anything you're not proud of. It's coming back on you.
No, I'm not.
Because I know that brother right there ain't proud of this picture right here.
All right.
This picture shows he has no control. This is not me talking crazy to little bro. This is me saying that picture shows you don't have control.
I'm not.
Let's
staring-
just say they at the beach in a bathing suit. Is that out of pocket? Sam, can your girl wear a bathing suit to the beach with you up goddamn it on Venice Beach?
Well, I ain't going to Venice Beach with my girl.
Here we go.
You stupid, nigga. Where you going with your girl?
Home.
Oh man.
Leave Olive Garden and go to the crib, right?
My
Damn
girl
it.
be at the beach in a tall tee, nigga. That ain't no.
Boy, you stupid.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
oh,
nigga
Oh,
say
you
a
saying-
tall tee.
All you seeing is a lower leg and forearms when my bitch go
Or that
swimming.
bathing suit, olive oil you
Yeah.
feel like
No, but what I was saying.
come down to the ankle.
No, but in all fairness, I only brought that up because somebody had said, "Oh, that I wore that when I was." But no, I wore the bathing suit on an album cover. I didn't walk around in that.
Darlene, are you aware
I didn't walk
that?
around in that.
I just want you to know, if you had on a bathing suit at the beach, I'm serious, Darlene,
Yeah.
there are pervs that might pull it.
With my man. Like
Even
back
if you
then?
with your man, you might have to pop a motherfucker.
I get it. There have been situations, sure.
Because when a
I'm not
man
saying there isn't.
who already admires looking at you, like, you see what you got on right now?
Yeah.
It's motherfuckers on that motherfucker, wish they could reach through this motherfucker and pull you through that motherfucker like Freddy Krueger used to get motherfuckers. Come here.
Okay.
Because this is what I'm saying. When you show meat to men, ladies, and I know y'all gonna say, fuck Corey, but listen, when you show meat to men, we have to really try and control ourselves. I went to that thing Sinbad them used to do out in the on the boat. They go to that
The
thing,
cruise?
the cruise.
Yeah.
Hedonism or something like that.
It was some they used to do. And when the sisters was out there in bathing suits, I did not even go out there. You know why I didn't go out there? Because I would have lost my motherfucking mind. Because the girls who was with us on the trip, these are people that we work with. They said, we finna go put on our bathing suits and go out there. I couldn't go out there
Now
because I'm a fucking animal in my mind.
You can't even
I
control.
want to suck everything off you. So I don't even go out there.
Oh my
I
god.
can't handle it.
That's sad. You really
You
didn't
think
know.
it's just me though, right? See, I don't
No,
walk
no,
up
no,
to
no.
women
I didn't
and
say
touch
that. Hold
women
on.
and
Okay.
do all that. But in my mind, I'm trying to control this animal.
But it
They
was
want to
so
be like,
bad.
come here, bitch.
I'm not.
Ah.
Everybody has thoughts and feelings and
Yeah.
emotion, things like that. But to have it so bad where you say, "Oh, I can't go out there" because you're afraid you might react on one of them.
And what Corey's trying to say is that if you are dealing with a woman who is not mindful of how she's dressing herself, then in a way she is putting herself and you in danger. Going back to what was being said, is it appropriate for your lady to dress in a provocative manner, especially when you're stepping out in public? There are two different schools of thoughts on this. There are some people who say a woman is not a slave. She's her own individual self. She should be able to express herself however she sees fit. That how she dresses is not indicative of how she'll act, and if she dresses provocatively and men react to her, the problem is more with men than it is with her, because they need to control and tame themselves. You know what I mean? Because the woman should have the right to express herself in any way she wants to. And to that argument, I would say, absolutely, we all as individuals have a right to determine how we carry ourselves. No one should be able to not dress how they see fit. But I do think there are a caveat to that. I think if you are in a relationship, you're essentially saying to a man that, hey, I am willing to be a representation of you, and I would like for you to be a representation of me. And so therefore, I would like for you to take the lead in how our relationship, goes, because now you assume responsibility for me as I assume responsibility for you. And most men tend to look at women who dress in skimpy outfits in a very lustful way, right? So what he's trying to say is, if that's your girl, if that's your wife, and she is willfully presenting herself in a room where other men is going to be, out in public where other men's going to be, and she's left nothing for the imagination, she's totally displaying her body, she's totally showcasing all her assets, all her, features to the world. In a way, she's inviting that type of attention to her. She's seeking validation from the men that will be, sort of struck by how good she looks in that fashion. And if she's doing that, is she really your girl? It's a question that we all do have to ask ourselves, right? As a woman who is saying, I am associated and affiliated with this man, and he is my man, there's certain things that should only be for his eyes. There's certain things that should not be marketed out to the whole community as if to say you are open for business. And this is the point that he's trying to make. This is the difference between how you carry yourself being, are you saying to the community that you're for the community, or are you saying to the community that you are a woman who's reserved, who, only showcases her body to the man of choice, the man that she has chosen to be her man? And when you're stepping out like that, you're giving people the impression that you're not a woman who's, mindful of how you're representing your man when you step out, right? And B, he's giving you insight that you're actually putting your man in danger, because all the hounds, all the guys who, are already lustful, who already battle with those things, are now that much more drawn to you, because now you are on display and you're kind of inviting that attention, right? It's almost like, and this isn't to say that women who dress provocatively are prostitutes, but most prostitutes can be identified by strangers based on how provocatively they dress in the public square, right? When when a prostitute's being solicited, she's got skimpy outfits on. She's essentially not wearing too much. And she's suggesting that she wants the attention from, patrons, from men who may, want her services. So if you are a respectable woman in a relationship with a man, why then would you dress in a manner that gives off that type of energy to other men, right? You are essentially putting your man in danger, because now instinctually they'll come and try to talk to you because you're essentially saying, hey, you know, I, I want the attention. I want the eyeballs. I want to be, the point of focus here. This was a conversation that happened when Ciara, Russell Wilson's wife, dressed that way, right? And these are older women, right? These aren't women who are young adolescents who are just coming into themselves. These are women, well over their 30s who should know better, right? Who has some sort of foundation to tell them, like, that's not how you as a wife represent yourself, represent your man out in the public square. But a lot of women take issue with that fact, and I think the male perspective here is to say, look, a woman should not be doing anything if she genuinely cares about her man to reflect him in a negative light. Yes, she's a very attractive woman. Yes, she has a very nice body, but her body is not for the world's eyes, right? There is a such thing as preserving yourself in the public square and leaving things to imagination. But when you're putting it all out there, you can't help what comes with that. And that's bad energy. So a lot of times guys get into fights because now somebody's gawking or looking at their girl. Now he feels like he's got to defend her honor. Now he's potentially fending off all these, piranhas who's out here trying to get at her because she's essentially saying, I'm open for business. And these are things, ladies, you have to keep into consideration, right? If you care about your man, you can't put him in compromising situations. In the same way, if your man cares about you, he can't put you in a compromising situation. So we should be mindful of that. But I think it's important for you to hear this. Now, Corey's being a little playful with this. He's a comedian. He tends to make fun of a lot of serious matters. But, I think the heart behind what he's saying is, ladies, if you're in a relationship with a man, you shouldn't be doing this, right? You putting it all out there is not, the type of attention that your man wants to see you get. Like, he could be, very grateful to have you. He can think that you are, a baddie, as some would say, but he also has to be mindful of your safety, right? And the type of men who may not respect you in the same fashion that he respects you, right? Who may just see you as a sexual object because you're giving them the impression that that's what you are by how you're presenting yourself. So now if that man's in that situation, it's a very compromising matter. So before he gets into that, I want to piggyback off something Craig just said. Craig's the gentleman in the red shirt. He just said, sometimes what makes you a man is defined by what you won't do. A lot of men have urges, and a lot of men are moved by those urges that they have. They just make impulsive decisions, and they're not selective with how they move. I think that has more to do with being a male than it has to do with being a man. A man at some point has to be able to weigh and think through the decisions that they're making. They have to not just only assess how that decision is going to affect their present day, but also how it's going to affect their future and how it affects the people around them. And the better you get at making wise and sound decisions, the more of a man you become, because you're useful up here. And so you're not as impulsive. So you start to separate yourself from just being a male with urges to being a man who can distinct beyond your urge to making a sound decision. And I think that's something that may have gone over some people's heads, is that he's really making a good point. Being a man is not just being someone who succumbs to your urges. Don't get me wrong. Everyone wants to feel like they're the man. Everyone wants to feel like they can do everything and anything they want to do. But to some extent, you do have to practice some restraints. You do have to have some discipline. And you do have to move in a way that shows that you're more than just an impulsive person who reacts only on your urges. So that's another fair point that I think should be pointed out. If you're allowing your woman to come out the house like that, right? And it's noticeable by his facial expression that he's not happy with how she's presenting herself, you don't got no control over that woman, bro. And this is not just a matter of control, right? Because, you know, I think it just really kind of takes away the point. When you're in a relationship, there are submissive things that both parties do. In a way, a woman's submitting to your authority as a man in her life, and in a way, you're submitting to that woman's, um, you know, presence in your life, right? There's some respect you have to show for her for choosing to be with you. But if you're a man in a relationship and it's established that you are leading that relationship as the head of the household, and you can't look to your partner and tell her that you're not comfortable with the way she's carrying herself or it's something that she's doing, you don't got no control over that. And this isn't a matter of control, but it's a matter of influence, right? If you can't influence your relationship positively, if you can't say, babe, my instincts about this is that this is an inappropriate way to present yourself. You know what I'm saying? And while I want you to feel empowered, I want you to be, confident, and I want you to feel like I care about you and that you have a way to express yourself. I don't believe expressing yourself by going outside looking naked is the appropriate way to do that. And I would prefer that you go change to something more appropriate. Then you're not an influencer in that woman's life. She doesn't have enough respect for you to honor what you would like for her to do. And that in itself is telling of who you are to her. So he's got another fair point. This has been a spirited conversation that I think hopefully adds some value to you guys as you listen to it. I think there's some gems you could pull out. What I always say is if some of this served you, chew the meat, spit out the bones. Not everything that was said here may have been applicable to, the listeners. Take the gems that you can take from it. And that is just be mindful of how you guys regard each other in a relationship. Be mindful that if a man is trying to give you some insight, ladies, about presenting yourself in a manner that is not very revealing to the world, that he's not saying it from a bad place where he's trying to control you. He's just trying to give you some insight and hoping that you will heed and trust his instincts on certain things. And also to the young men out there and men in general, be mindful of the type of women you select. Make sure you're selecting a woman that is respectful of how you look, how she presents you and your family, that is respectful of your relationship, and just make every effort to work with each other on these type of things. Thank you guys for joining us for yet another great reaction video. We're going to cut it here, and I pray that everyone has a blessed and productive week. Until we meet again, have a blessed one.